Around the world فقرة جديدة على شاشتنا أو ببرنامجنا من خلالها بنعمل جولة بمختلف بلدان العالم اللي كلنا بنحبها وبنتوجه لها. محطتنا اليوم بتاخدنا على بلد غني بشعبه وغني بتراثه وتقاليده، بلد عزيز على قلبنا نحن اللبنانيين. عم نحكي عن جمهورية أرمينيا، وضيفنا هو سعادة سفير أرمينيا سيد سامويل مكرتشيان. أهلا وسهلا فيك. It's our pleasure to have you.
Thank you for the invitation. It's
Thank
a real
you for being with us, Mr. Ambassador. We know how close the Lebanese are to the Armenian population here in Lebanon, and we've realized that in the past years there has been a big influx of Lebanese tourists to Armenia. There are many attractions that we would like to talk about and to show our audience and our viewers here in Lebanon and also all around the world. Armenia is our neighbor. It's not very far.
Yeah,
it's less than 2 hours. It's less than a 2-hour trip by plane.
It's 1 hour 45 minutes of flight. Yeah, so
okay. Is it difficult for a Lebanese citizen to get a visa to Armenia?
No, it's very simple. You know, they can get a visa upon arrival at the airport in Yerevan, or they can apply prior to their travel to Armenia, and it takes only 3 days to process the application at the embassy, and there is no need for appointment to come to the embassy. They can visit the embassy during the working hours from Monday to Friday.
So they can decide at any time to take a trip to Armenia, and they can get their visa upon arrival.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the airport. Great.
And it's very cheap. It costs only $6.
The visa is very cheap, and also the entire trip is not expensive if we compare it to other trips or other countries in Europe, for example. We're going to talk about that aspect, but first I'd like to talk about the major touristic attractions that we may find in Armenia. There are many things to talk about: the culture, the heritage, the folklore, the music, the food. Where would you like to start?
Yeah, absolutely. Armenia is an ancient land, you know, and it depends on the wish or intention of an individual tourist, what they are, what do they want to see in Armenia. If they come for the country, for the land, they can enjoy the scenery, you know, and travel from north to the south to the mountainous, beautiful lake of Sevan, and to climb the mountains and to have hiking. If they are looking for the for the gastronomic experience, they can enjoy.
That's also a major attraction. We're starting to see footage of the beauty of Armenia. هون عم نشوف مشاهد من هالبلد الرائع، هالبلد الغني بتراثه بتقاليده وبشعبه أكيد، واللي عم بيقصدوه عدد كبير من السواح، مش بس من لبنان إنما كمان من دول عديدة مجاورة ومن حول العالم. مثل ما قال لسعادة السفير، سهل كتير نحصل على فيزا كلبنانيين وما بتكلف شيء، $6 الفيزا، فينا نقدم عليها بالسفارة هون، أو لما نوصل على مطار أرمينيا بنحصل عليها فورا هونيك من دون أي تعذيب. We're looking at some of the arts and crafts that we may find exclusively also in Armenia. Beautiful colors, textures. Tell us a little bit, Your Excellency, what we're seeing in this video.
You know, it's the heritage, you know, cultural heritage of Armenia, ancient churches, Christian churches, also the exclusive...
This is a lake. You have a very big,
this is a mountainous
special
lake.
Right?
It's a huge freshwater reservoir, and it's very beautiful, surrounded by picturesque mountains.
Have we seen Mount Ararat yet, or not yet?
No, not yet. That was the telepheric I was
telling me about.
Telling you.
It's the longest
telepheric. longest telepheric in the world, which is built in the south of Armenia.
In the world.
Yeah, in the world. Yeah,
not just in Armenia. Interesting.
No, it has been registered with the Guinness Book of Records, so it's a major touristic attraction as well, because the area is extremely beautiful, and you can.
من أبرز المعالم السياحية بأرمينيا هالتلفريك اللي هو يعتبر أطول تلفريك بالعالم ودخل كتاب جينيس للأرقام القياسية. There's so much to talk about when it comes to Armenia. Many different reasons that tourists choose to go there. Religious tourism is very popular in Armenia. Tell us why. You have the oldest church in the world there?
We have the oldest state church, because in 301, the Armenian Apostolic Church, the Christian church, became first state religion in the world, and since then. But Christianity was spreading in Armenia before that, and the Armenians also were traveling to Jerusalem, to this area, to the Middle East, and they established themselves also in the places of
it's the Apostolic
Christianity.
Church.
Yeah, it's part of the Orthodox Church, but the Armenian Apostolic Church is independent. You know, in religious terms, in theocratic terms, it calls autocephalic church.
Okay. يوجد كمان بأرمينيا أقدم كنيسة وطنية بالعالم. السياحة الدينية كتير غنية عندهم وبتجذب عدد كبير من السواح. You have a lot of tourists coming from Russia also.
Yeah, that's the biggest group because we have historic times. It's neighbor. We have been in the same country for decades, for 70 years. And also
it remained a friendly relationship.
Yes, we do, and the large groups of Armenians also live in Russia now.
Which is why most Armenians speak Russian also.
Yeah, of course, because the family ties are there, and the people travel back and forth. You know, they go to work in Russia and coming back to Armenia. So there are a lot of connections, and also cultural, historic, and political, military, whatever you have. So it's a close relationship that we have.
Ambassador Samvel, we noticed in the past few years that there has been a big influx of Lebanese tourists that have chosen to go to Armenia. Any specific reason? What's new in these past few years?
No, really, we are extremely happy that the Lebanese
we are too.
that the Lebanese are now choosing Armenia as destination of their, holidays or vacation. It's very close. It takes only 1 hour 45 minutes of flight. There are comfortable flights with the MEA, with the Middle East Airlines, and also
it's a non-stop flight.
Yeah, non-stop flight, and since 2 years, since 1 year, since April last year, also the Armenian Air Company is flying to Beirut, and during the peak of touristic season for the second year, we are having 7 flights per week. You know, there's a flight every day, and it makes.
This is the Armenian airline or our
both of them,
national airline?
for Middle East
يعني
Airlines.
هلا صار في طلب على زيارة أرمينيا من قبل اللبنانيين في 7 طيارات بالأسبوع بين طيران الأرمني وكمان طيران الشرق الأوسط. So the Lebanese love to go to Armenia.
Yeah, I believe that they found themselves at home in Armenia because we are very close as people, Lebanese and Armenian people. And
I think it's because we're so already familiar with the Armenian
Yeah,
people. We have 100,000 Armenians living in Lebanon, and we have a great relationship with them.
After the tragic events of 1915, the Armenian genocide, I mean, thousands of Armenians moved to Lebanon. They found a second home in Lebanon, and now they are part of Lebanon. And also the Lebanese, they know from them and also for the touristic agencies about the Armenia as destination for tourism. And they choose whether they like to have a leisure in Armenia, to visit and see, get acquainted with the cultural heritage.
So we go to this country, we have an idea of what to expect because we're very close to the Armenian people here in Lebanon. We know about their food, we know a little bit about their culture, we know about their traditions. So we go to Armenia expecting really beautiful things that we've started to learn about here.
Yeah, but I believe which is very important that the reality when they visit Armenia are exceeding their expectations. And then when they come back and they keep in their minds to go there again or to encourage the others also to visit Armenia. So it's very, very encouraging.
سألت سعادة السفير ليش بالسنوات الأخيرة هالقد صار في رغبة عند اللبنانيين حتى يزوروا أرمينيا. قلت له بركي لأنه هن يعني أخواننا بالوطن هون وفي قرابة كتير بيننا وبينهم وفي محبة وفي مودة بيننا وبينهم وبنعرف عن حضارتهم وعاداتهم وتقاليدهم. هالشي كمان بحمسنا إنه نروح على بلدهم حتى نتعرف عليه عن قريب. وهو قال إنه مش بس عم ينبسطوا اللبنانيين كمان الزوار لما بيوصلوا كمان عم بيتفاجئوا وعم تتخطى توقعاتهم وعم بتكون رحلة أكثر من ممتعة لهم للأسباب اللي عم نذكرها واللي راح كمان نذكرها أكثر. So people are enjoying their time in Armenia for several reasons. One of the main attractions is because it's not very expensive, and that's a very important point for Lebanese.
It's very affordable for the Lebanese to spend a week or a couple of days in Armenia, which unfortunately is not the case for the Armenians who intend to visit Lebanon. I wish it could be the same, to attract more Armenians.
So for the Armenians, it's very expensive to come visit Lebanon
in
comparison to what it would cost
Lebanon
the Lebanese to go there.
It's expensive also for the Lebanese themselves,
it's expensive for us already.
Yeah, because the Armenians they choose to go to Cyprus, to Greece, or to Egypt.
It's more affordable for them, unfortunately.
More affordable. But I believe Lebanon has a lot to offer, in terms of tourism. It's a beautiful Mediterranean sea coast, excellent food, also very old culture, different layers of different civilizations that
depending on the budget they have.
Depending on the budget, It is not that the Armenians are not coming to Lebanon, but they are not coming in numbers.
They have to take it into consideration. It depends on their income also.
On income also, yes.
قلت له من الأسباب اللي بتجذب الزوار اللبنانيين إنه يروحوا على أرمينيا إنه ما بتكلف كتير، وهو علق إنه العكس صحيح بالنسبة للأرمن، الشعب الأرمني إذا بدهم يجوا لعنا على لبنان بفكروا كتير لأنه مشوار بيكون مكلف كتير، بعكس ما إنه يروح اللبناني لعنده بفضلوا يروحوا على بلدان أخرى لأنه بالنسبة لهم أرخص، ولكن تبقى لبنان فيها أشياء بتجذبهم كتير، الساحل الجميل اللي عنا، الأكل كمان وتراثنا وحضارتنا اللي كمان بيسمعوا كتير عنا من الأرمن اللي هن موجودين هون بلبنان. So let's talk about some more of the attraction. We're seeing beautiful landscaping, beautiful greenery. Let's talk about ecotourism in Armenia. That's a major attraction for tourists.
Yeah, that's one of the major attractions now. We are trying to build, kind of small villages, eco-villages, to give people the idea how the Armenians have been living, for centuries, and how the real, rural life has been developing in Armenia. Also, hiking is extremely popular now.
So it's a mixture of sports and also heritage.
Heritage, absolutely. Yeah. And also, if someone is looking for nightlife or for leisure, we can offer it also.
How is the nightlife in Armenia? We don't hear much about that.
No, it's Armenians are very active. They spend like the
Lebanese.
I'm
talking nightclubs and very upbeat, fast music.
Like the Lebanese, they like to spend much time, in a company, in the nightclubs or in restaurants, in cafes. And open-air cafes are very popular in Armenia during the season, so you can sit outside, late.
السهر بأرمينيا كمان موجود إن كان بأماكن داخلية وموسيقى عالية أو الكافيز والمطاعم والمقاهي اللي بيكونوا إلى جانب البحيرة الكبيرة الموجودة عندهم. But I want to go back to the ecotourism. Do you have a planned or guided trips that the tourists can take? Is it organized very well?
Yeah, it is. We have tour operators. Now we are trying to bring them together, the Lebanese tour operators with their Armenian counterparts, to develop together two packages which will make it much more, affordable and accessible to both sides. It will include, the plane tickets, stay in the hotel, and also guided tours around Armenia. So
do we have a big selection of hotels for all budgets?
It's increasing. That's one of the areas that we can cooperate. And also, I'm trying to kind of invite Lebanese investments into this field of economy.
To develop further this field.
Yes, to bring also the Lebanese experience also in the field of hospitality business, because Lebanon has a highly developed hospitality business over the decades.
السياحة البيئية كتير مهمة كمان بأرمينيا، وفي رحلات منظمة لكل السواح اللي بيحبوا يمارسوا كل أنواع الرياضات وبنفس الوقت يتعرفوا على تراث هالبلد العريق. سألته عن هل في عدد كبير من الفنادق ممكن يختاروا منها الزوار وكمان لكل البادجتس، أكيد قال عم بيشتغلوا على هالموضوع، ما في كتير عدد ولكن عم ينشغلوا عليه وعم بيدعوا مستثمرين لبنانيين كمان حتى يطوروا هالمجال عندهم بأرمينيا. We love your food. Mr. Ambassador. Tell us
Yes,
about
it's,
Armenian food in Armenia. We heard that it's different between Lebanon and Armenia. It's a bit different, the food.
It is a bit different, but we have also very much influenced by the Mediterranean cuisine, you know, since so many Armenians have lived, you know, for so long in the Mediterranean basin. The Armenian food has been influenced by also by the Mediterranean cuisine. And also now, recently also Armenians from Lebanon or from Syria who moved to Armenia.
They're doing a fusion.
They're doing a fusion, right? And they are bringing also the Syrian cuisine, particularly from Aleppo, and new restaurants and fast food, you know, facilities have been developing very quickly, and it makes the whole food picture in Armenia rather diverse.
You have a wonderful gastronomy. Here in Lebanon also, our Armenian food is very popular. One of our favorites is the manti.
Yeah,
manti. And we have several very famous Armenian restaurants here. Are there any popular Lebanese restaurants in Armenia?
Yeah, we have a range of restaurants under the name Beirut, Lebanon, even with others. And recently also Mayrik restaurant, the Armenia restaurant, which is very well known here in Beirut, has opened a branch in Armenia under the same name, Mayrik. So it's so we are getting closer also in the field of gastronomic tourism and gastronomic experience.
A lot of tourists like to shop when they go on trips. How is shopping in Armenia? And I know there's a very special market in Yerevan, Vernissage it's called?
Yeah, the Vernissage, it's for the handicrafts. You know, the
Arts and crafts.
Arts and crafts. You can find paintings there. You can find, you know, the different handworks on wood, on silver, on semi-precious stones and metals, and it's very elaborate, which attracts a lot of attention. And everyone who visits Armenia wants to take
back souvenirs.
They take back souvenirs.
And these are all handmade.
These are all
by
handmade.
Locals.
By
and
locals, yeah.
They're a very good quality.
The people who made this, they themselves sell it in the Vernissage.
It's handmade by them, and they sell it.
They
and it's not expensive. It's very good prices
also.
Also.
Of course, it's not expensive. It's affordable. You can easily buy it.
Okay. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to the heritage and the ancient culture of Armenia, but at the same time, it's developing quite quickly and quite well. We have a video called Innovation. What are we going to see in that video?
You know, of course, we have a lot of historic heritage, but also we put to us as a goal to become a...
Do you have a city center with tall buildings, skyscrapers, high-rises?
Not, we have some of high-rise buildings, but not to the level of skyscrapers.
Okay. You're
it's
working on it.
We're working on it, and we want to develop also innovative technologies in Armenia, and the IT sector is one of the key targets in Armenian economy.
One of your strong points.
One of the strong points, and we have this very famous Tumo Center, which is a kind of, you know, becoming a brand for Armenia, for Armenians. It brings in young people, children, and offering them free access to computers and to develop their own ideas in different innovative
to learn
fields.
The new technology, to teach the children the new technology.
And also to experience.
We're seeing in this video all the innovative ideas that we can also find in Armenia.
So
we have a mix in Armenia between the old and the new.
Yeah, of course. I mean, every country, every society is a mix of old and new. And it's our task to preserve in a very attentive way our heritage, but also to look into the future and to develop modern technologies and to introduce modern forms of life into the society.
How important, Your Excellency, is tourism for the Armenian economy today?
Tourism as a field of economy is a priority for the Armenian government because the multiplier effect of tourism is very large. You know, when the tourists come in a given country, be it in Lebanon or somewhere else, they spend money in different ways, and it encourages the local production. It develops a touristic infrastructure, and it spreads rather in a level manner within the economy. That's very important. We want to pay much more attention into this field, and that's one of our intentions also to
one of the areas you're focusing on currently.
To cooperate with Lebanon in this field.
Okay.
So we have plans with the Ministry of Tourism
This is you visiting our president?
Yeah, that was when I presented my credentials to President Aoun.
Okay. Some of your activities here in Lebanon, local activities.
That's the Embassy of Armenia. So it's.
Tell us a little bit more about the relationship between Lebanon and Armenia. I know there's a very strong bond when it comes to the people. What's it like between governments?
You know, the relations between Armenia and Lebanon have been existing for quite some long. You know, they go well back into the history, but they were upgraded to a new level when in 1991 Armenia became independent state. Now these are the relations between two independent and sovereign states, Republic of Lebanon, Republic of Armenia, for the last 27 years. And since then, we have so many exchanges at the possible highest level and going down to other levels. I will bring you the example of this current year. At the end of February, President Aoun paid an official visit to Armenia. And in mid-March, the former Prime Minister of Armenia...
That fortifies the relationship, of course.
Yeah, of course. We keep the political dialogue at the highest level, which also helps both sides to advance our common goals at the international arena, international level. And then our former Prime Minister came to Lebanon in mid-March, and now we had another visit by the new Prime Minister of Armenia, Mr. Pashinyan.
So it's an ongoing, maintained relationship. سألت سعادة السفير عن علاقة بين الحكومات أرمينيا ولبنان، لأنه بنعرف العلاقة بين الشعب اللبناني والشعب الأرمني كتير جيدة، وقال لي نفس الشيء بالنسبة للعلاقات بالحكومة، خاصة بعد زيارة الرئيس هون لأرمينيا وزيارة رئيس مجلس الوزراء الأرمني على لبنان القديم والجديد. When is the best time to go to Armenia?
You can go to Armenia. The best time to go there in April, when it's full spring. You know, the trees are in blossoms, and then everything is green around. And then it continues until probably mid-November. Still, the weather is not that cold, and there is no much snow, because at the higher level there is snow, but mid-November is still very acceptable time, you know, very pleasant time to
Ambassador Samvel Mkrtchian, شكرا لوجودك معنا. I'm going to say it in Arabic. Thank you for being with us. It was our pleasure to have you, and thank you for taking us on a trip to beautiful Armenia through your eyes.
Thank you very much, and shukran.
أهلا وسهلا فيك. وقفي مشاهدينا، وبنبقى مع المحطة الأخيرة بحلقتنا، خليكن معنا.